What's up, YouTube? Oh, yeah. I got a whole bunch of people that are pissed off because they don't like the fact that I have a lot of information that can end their career. And they know it. Yeah. I have a lot of evidence and information that can put these other ones away for a long time. And they know it. That's why this situation is so difficult. That's why I turned to the community. And what I was showing on TikTok, I wish I could show on here, which I did share a lot of the videos. But YouTube doesn't seem to care. Yeah, that's one way to get justice is you get the community involved, you show them what's going on, and you all push for the justice of these children. But of course, seems to just be the wrong timing because everybody is lovers of themselves, boasters, proud, blasphemers, ungodly, cold, demonic. For the most part, not everybody, but the majority of the people are. And the most demonic ones are the females. Yep, they've always been demonic. Maybe that's why you're born into sin. But you basically get born into this world out of a demon. And most of those pregnancies are out of fornication. They're not out of, marriage. Even if they are out of marriage, you still got to make sure that marriage is done correctly. And none of these people care about that. And look who's leading the way for fornication and pushing it: women. That's exactly what they want to do before they get married. They want to sleep with half the neighborhood. Yep, they're ass backwards. And they think they have it right. Just like now, they're fighting for, jobs, money, position. And they just had the Epstein files released that showed them the jobs that they're fighting for are owned by these people. The bank accounts that they want to, make so big is owned by these people. So that means if you have 1 million in there, they can borrow 10 million. That's just off of one person. You wonder how they're getting so rich. Hmm. They all run around and try to attack these men thinking that that means something. Nope. What's going to happen is you're not going to have any men to protect you once the elites want to do what they want. You think this wasn't orchestrated by them? And these women bought it hook, line, and sinker. Why? Because they thought they were going to be in control. Imagine that. They care more about control than they do having a family. That's why they chose feminism. They care more about control than they do having a life. And if they can't control, they will manipulate to where they can gain control even though they couldn't get it before. They will try to find ways and anything they can that can basically give them the upper hand, whether they deserve it, whether it's right or not. They don't care. Then they call that street or hood rat or that. No, it's not. It's demonic. You are not the leaders. You were never appointed the leaders. And I'm starting to see why I still don't agree with it because it's wrong just to do that to somebody, because there's a lot of innocent ones that get it like that. But I am starting to see why these other religions treat their women the way they do. And this is why. If you don't keep a tight fucking leash around them, they get wilder and do more damage than any male could possibly do. Excuse me, any man. Male's different. They ain't no man. But yeah, I mean, it's insane. Just like they're the ones trying to get these laws passed so they can use them to their benefit. And most of them are unconstitutional, and you still have states trying to push them. You cannot keep messing with the Constitution. They do. They try to bend it, they try to twist it. We should have all known that the internet was going to be a trap. It's the World Wide Web. You're going to get caught in it. I know a lot of people think, well, you are too. No. Trust me, I'm going to step away from this web. I only turned to the web because something happened to my children, and I was trying to get them help and justice because this third wave feminism is fucking very demonic. These women set these kids up. Their last pretty much words, you know, to police, to their dad, was what they were telling me. They were trying to save their life, and so was I. And of course, I'm getting everybody down my throat telling me I have to do it legal. I can't do anything else. Yeah, well, if I would have done it anything else, they would still be here. But yeah, society would have said, oh, well, that's a monster. Yeah, right. Would have been fucking more than you pussies are doing. Yeah, I gotta supposedly put out fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get a fucking murderer put in jail. But this bitch can run around and mess up people's lives for free. Fuck out of here, man. That's what I mean. If they get pissed off, they can do whatever the fuck they want. They're not considered mental. They're not considered unstable. They're not considered any of this shit because the courts are making fucking money. Not only that, it fattens their fucking stats. That's why some of those stats you can't really believe. I mean, I thought we were trying to put an end to putting people in jail that didn't do anything wrong. No. They're pushing for it even harder. These women think with men out the way, they're just going to rule the world. Well, pretty funny. You had men out the way for a lot of things, and you guys could not pull it off. You had a team of women, and you still couldn't do it. Why? Because you're in your feelings, sitting there crying. How are we going to do this? Get up and do it. And that's what I mean. This is the delusion of a woman. Not all. Some of them are very capable. Other ones, they just think it. Therefore, I am. And then when you see it in reality, that's when you see all the shit fucking up. And everybody wants to make excuses or try and hide it. Just like the one chick that flew directly into a fucking plane. They were trying to give her an alibi, saying, oh, or, you know, an excuse, saying she couldn't see. Bullshit. You have radar in that. You have a helmet that helps you to see everything that's around you, including radar. It's a helicopter. All you got to do is pull the joystick up or down, and you can either go up and away from it. You could have went to the side and away from it, or to the side and up, to the side and down. You could have backed up completely and turned around. You could have went off to the left, went off to the right. You had every which way you could go. And she went right into the plane. Then they tried to lie and say that it was a dude. And we're like, there ain't no way. Remember all the controversy from the left? see, you guys are incompetent. You can't do nothing. It's all your fault. And wasn't that the one with a child on board? A sick child, or was that the one with multiple people on board? I think that was the one with multiple people on board. Because I don't get it. Or did they have multiple people on board with the sick child? Because there was a sick child supposedly leaving on a private jet, which that seems so suspicious. I don't see why nobody's asking questions about why is there a child being placed on a private jet when it should be put on a medical jet, right? Or a medical helicopter. Yeah, that's normally how they transport them. But who knows? I'm sure they'll come up with some excuse. I just don't know what to do in this fucking world anymore. It makes you want to go insane. And then they try to laugh at you. Like, oh, you ain't got no reason to be as pissed off at you as you are. Yeah, you do. And that's funny. You got people out here, you ain't pissed off enough. Then when, you got people over here expressing how pissed off they are, everybody else is telling you, oh, calm down. See, this is why you don't listen to fucking women. Especially in freaking situations where you got to fight or, stand strong. Because they always want you to calm down. And calming down is what got us into this mess. The fact that you all are still calm and working for these people, yeah, that's the problem. And I know. I knew they put this fucking internet together to try and use it as a trap, and they do. That's okay. My kids are worth every bit of this sacrifice. So you all can do whatever the fuck you feel you want to do. I don't care. I'm going to keep fighting for these kids every chance I get. It has been 7 years, and I am still the only one fighting for justice for these babies. Anybody else in this particular situation would have been in jail. That is vehicular homicide or vehicular manslaughter. It could be that they didn't even get charged for involuntary, even though it was fucking voluntary. You deliberately did not have them buckled in at all to any of the car seats. No seat belts, no car seat strapped in, not even strapped into the car seat itself. Now I got these fucking Gen Xers. Oh, well, that's how we used to do it. Nothing ever happened. Well, that's not the case here, you fucking morons. See, this is what I'm talking about. You guys don't give a fuck. You don't even give a fuck that these other kids are getting hurt every day. Y'all are still going about your day, running your mouth on the internet, still doing your job, still shopping, still doing every fucking thing that fuels these people. But you want to sit here and act like you're some type of badass because you shared a piece of information that most likely everybody already knows. I just, and then they try to act like they're not stupid. That is stupid and lazy. What did you do? I'm doing everything I can as a single individual. Is that what you all are waiting for? Is somebody else to overthrow this problem so you can be like, yeah? It's got to be you. It doesn't mean it has to be violent, but if you think these people are going to go easy or tell the truth, they're not. And yes, that is the manipulative shit that they have tried to fucking shove down your head. Why? If you ever go against them, that gives them time and opportunity to either counter you or do something to get out of the situation that you're, trying to get them to stop. I mean, you saw Obama bring in riot gear to all the police stations from the military before any riots ever broke out. Then all of a sudden, people are causing riots, dropping off bricks, dropping off stuff that they can use. And then we see it again in LA. And it's all, looking like it's the Democrats, which, yeah, they are helping. I'm not saying they're not. What y'all aren't paying attention to is the fact it's not just the Democrats. None of you have looked at where your government has really came from. And I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you about the kids. I tried to tell you about what happened to my kids, even though this is what I am spectacular at. See, courts are supposed to be burden of proof, right? Right. I have everything that proves that these kids knew this was a plan. She has to prove it wasn't, and she can't. So this is what she's doing. And how is it that just because it's an ex, all these people want to try and sidetrack the information I've shown, trying to say, oh, well, it's just because you're not over her. You guys are assholes. I'll tell you that right now. You think because a man is having a problem with an ex that he's not over her. Y'all are fucking delusional. You watch way too much freaking drama shows, man. Your heads are all fucked up. The one that has a problem with it and is obsessed is the one still causing the problems. The one that caused the big problem that took their life. The one that kept trying to get them to break their bond with their dad by telling them all kinds of bad stuff about their dad, trying to bribe them and manipulate them to not listen and cause trouble. Really? This is what this woman is showing these kids. Nobody cared. CPS didn't care. Police didn't care, even though we're supposed to have fucking, safety things that we signed on David because he just came back. Now, Tiffany was secretly trying to get the CPS to invest me, which they were. No, I didn't care. Go ahead. The evil bitch ain't here. I don't have anything to hide. No, what she was trying to hide was the fact she knew she was frauding. And I had half the mind to freaking tell them everything she was doing. No, not because, we were fighting or anything like that. Just because, dude, if I don't, I look like a fucking accomplice. And I wasn't. And I'm getting sick and tired of women doing this shit and then trying to pass the blame off on somebody else. If I was trying to fraud the state and all that, why the fuck was I working so much? Don't you think I would have enjoyed, living off of all the fraud and fucking just taking care of my kids? I didn't. I didn't like having anything from the fucking state. I mean, you're talking to a dude that was told he was going to be disabled for the rest of his life, and I turned my hard-headedness into going against my supposed ADHD and whatnot that was blocking me from supposedly having a job, and found shit that I could do. Then I got the fucking world out there attacking me, even though I'm doing the job beautifully. Gotten $100 freaking tips, got $200 tips. I've got a couple of them, real high tips. They're not going to give me that if I didn't do a good job. I'm not going to get the reputation I had. Yeah, I said had because these females have taken it. Yeah, they can openly act like a bunch of gang members and, oh, they can just lie their way out of it. What are they so upset about? I have no fucking clue. Everything they're making up has never taken place. Have we gotten into arguments? Yes. Have they hit me? Yes. Have I wrapped them up? Yes. Have I pushed them or held them up against the wall so they wouldn't hit me? Yeah. But I did not beat them. I did not abuse them. Trust me, I could have, but I didn't. And trust me, it's not self defense is not abuse. Making somebody listen to what you have to say about what they just did in your life to ruin it is not abuse. No, the fuck, it's not. This is how they escape their accountability. They know what the fuck they did, they know they're gonna hear for it, and this is how they flip it. Why? Because courts will be, oh, you did what? That's not the truth. Yes, and if you break up with them, oh my gosh, you are the worst man in the world, and anything they can do to fuck with your life, they're going to do that. Where do they get that from? TV. But they're the ones running around, oh, well, why can't we just be friends? That's why. Being friends with you means that I have a demon in my midst, and you're going to do anything you can with a smile to fuck up my life. That's why we can't be friends. Then they get on here trying to act like, oh, well, we got so much hatred. Yeah, you do. I'm pissed off at your hatred. I'm not. Ugh. This is how you know you are dealing with a fucking demon right here. They do. They try to turn everything into a catch 22 to where they are always winning. Well, you got males that do that too. No shit. The majority of women do this. It is statistically proven, and everybody acts like it is the most like unheard of thing ever. And it's mainly these rainbow fucking people trying to paint this delusional fucking reality. And people accept it, even though they're like, no, that don't seem right. That's what I mean. You can have so many people, looking at something and they can see the truth to it. And all you have to do is have one of these dumb fucks come in there running their mouth. And then people start second guessing things, even though the facts didn't change. They're still there. No, that you got this person over here getting in your head and making you believe that it could possibly be another way. What is that? Black magic manipulation. That's also a diversion. Okay, if what I'm saying and putting out isn't true, then why do you keep trying to flip out, insult, and divert? Because you know it's true. I've already said, put us all on a lie detector. These fucking psychotic bitches won't do it. Uh-huh. Why won't you do it? See, I have anxiety, and I get really nervous whenever I can study and know everything on that test. But as soon as I know I'm being tested, I get nervous. Yeah, my whole freaking mind will go blank until after the test is over. I don't know. I always thought it was anxiety, but Yeah, when I was a kid, every time I could, would tell somebody I could do something, that's what they would do is, you know, well, show us then, do it. You know how to do it, that kind of shit. And I know to hear it from me, it sounds kind of innocent, just, kids messing with kids, but I don't know. I was a different type of kid, I guess. Guess that's what I get for being raised by my mom. I had a heart, and I still do, even though I'm pissed off at the world right now, and I have every right to be. And people act like, oh, we have the right to talk any way we want, and we can put up videos any way we want, and we can do anything we want. But oh, the moment you say something that counters what we're talking about or makes us look stupid because we're lying, oh no, that can't happen. Remember what I told you about demons and vampires and what happens when you shine light on them? Yeah, they flip out. Sometimes it's with anger, sometimes it's with a angry face, and they just do stuff behind your back. And it's because you showed what they were doing. Where this dumbass world's going, man. I don't think anybody's gonna see fucking trouble for what they've done to these kids. I'm talking about the elite ones too. I don't think anything's gonna be done to them either. I'm telling you, I think they let all that out on purpose. Well, the devil loves chaos. So yeah, I think they literally let that out on purpose. Basically laughing in your face even though they're acting like they're fighting over it. I'm telling you. To me it feels like they're like, see, we did it, but you won't do nothing about it. Yeah, our law enforcement and all that is a fucking joke. They're a bunch of lazy little spoiled bitches, man. You get on them because they didn't do their job, and then they act just like these females. They get mad at you and act like they're not going to do their job more. Bitch, you still have to do your fucking job. And you cannot be doing your job with an attitude like that. This is why cases get all fucked up. Because of you assholes. Yeah, and then you got these feminist women running around. They will manipulate the shit out of a fucking cop. Tell you the truth, I don't know how the cop doesn't know it. They're trained for that, so they have to know it. Because some of them act like they have no fucking clue. I'll tell you one thing, how come cops and courts don't know anything about disabilities? How come they're not trained to spot and understand when somebody is being attacked by somebody with a severe mental problem? Yeah, ADHD used to be considered a learning disability, not a mental disability like that. You know, BPD, stuff like that was considered a mental disability because you go psycho. ADHD, you're a great person unless somebody fucks with you. And then you still try to, figure out what the problem is. You all push people to the end of the ropes and then act like they have no right to say anything to you or do anything to you. And yes, we do. Yep, if I was about a foot taller with another 100 pounds on me, they wouldn't be treating me like that.